So in this video, what we will talk about is ultimate 10-step Gen AI learning roadmap for 2025. So if you are someone who is interested to learn Gen AI and wants a roadmap which can take them through the very basic concepts till the very advanced concept like agents. So this is the roadmap which you should follow, and I believe like this roadmap combines the theory and the hands-on with a great mix. So we will try to clear your concepts with how the Gen AI works in terms of theory, but we will also have a lot of notebooks, the code base, the GitHub URLs through which you can do the hands-on part and get yourself very much familiarized with the nowadays concepts which are related to Gen AI, right? So we will start with one of the very fundamental thing, which is like deep learning fundamentals. So for that, I already have a playlist, which is this one, which is deep learning with PyTorch, which starts with a very basic concept like how you can set up a machine learning problem. Then it will take you through uh, the very basic building blocks of neural networks. So we will talk about linear regression, logistic regression from scratch, and then slowly we will move into the concept of multi-layer perceptron, how the backpropagation works and how you can build a neural network using PyTorch. And then we will talk about how to optimize those neural networks. Then we have the advanced deep learning techniques like CNN, RNN, LSTM. So this concepts like RNN and LSTM understanding is quite crucial if you want to build your career in the generative AI space. And then we end this series with a concept of like graph neural network. So neural networks are again the basic building blocks of LLMs. So because whatever the weight updates that goes on behind the scene while training the LLM, the neural network is the backbone of that. So in case if you are not aware of how the neural network works, so this playlist will take you through starting from very basic till the in-depth concept which you can see in your screen. So it has around like 36 videos which also talks about the optimization techniques, the how we can optimize your neural network, then how we can reduce the bias variance trade-off in the neural network, and slowly we will move into the RNN and LSTM. So you can see like I also tried to generate text using LSTM, so that kind of gives you the basic understanding of how text generation works in case of LSTM. Then slowly we move into the machine translation with sequence to sequence model, which talks about not only the concept but also the code. And then we also apply the attention mechanism in case of bidirectional RNN, and slowly we move into the graph neural network architecture, right? So this is quite essential if you are not uh, very much familiarized with neural network. This is the playlist which you should go through, right? But if you are familiar with how deep learning works and very much familiar with PyTorch framework, so then you can skip this part and then you can move to step 2, right? So PyTorch is also nowadays quite essential if you are building your career in the space of generative AI. Like all the integration which is like Hugging Face integration generally works with the help of PyTorch. So the knowledge of PyTorch will also help you to shape your career in the space of generative AI, right? So then what you can do is I have picked up only a single video, so which is like this deep dive into LLMs, starting from RNN to RLHF. So this video is like a 3 hours content. So you can see the topics that is available in this video. Like it starts with RNN, then LSTM, and then in between it also talks about what are the issues with RNN and LSTM, how LSTM generally solves the problems of vanishing gradient, and what are the mathematical equations that involves with RNN and LSTM. That takes you very deeply in this first two part. Then we talk about the sequence to sequence model. Then we slowly move into the concept of vanilla RNN with attention, and then we move to the very recent developments in the space of attention architecture, right? So we talk about self attention, the masked multi-head attention, the sliding window attention, then few of the state of the art positional embeddings like rotary positional embedding. Then we also talk about what is group query attention, the KV cache, the rolling buffer cache, the prefill and chunking. Then we also talk about the very famous mixture of expert architecture in terms of attention mechanism, or the decoder based LLM architecture. And then we slowly go into the different training phases of LLM, right? And in the end we talk about how the RLHF kind of aligns the LLM with the human preferences. So this is like a very essential building block which you should follow if you want to go deep in the generative AI space. So this 3 hours content would not only help you to go through the inner workings of LLMs, but it will also give you a lot of confidence if you want to go deep in the space of generative AI, right? So then slowly what we can do is we can move to the step 3, which is like the LLM playlist. So this LLM playlist has a lot of videos, the standalone videos which are very essential. Like we start with the fine tuning process of LLM, then we talk about what is temperature, top P, top K. So we not only talk about the concept, but we also talk about the code, how it works. So we do the from scratch implementation of temperature, top P and top K. Then we talk about what is embedding model, then how we can pick and choose a state of the art embedding model for your use case. Then we slowly also talk about the LLM training process, right? So the 3 different training process what we have in case of LLM, that we also cover in this section. Then we also talk about how we can uh, build better architecture, and you can build better system design in your generative AI space with the help of like semantic router or the route LLM. Then we also talk about how we can fine tune your embedding model for very domain specific data. So that is also a thing which people have started doing it. Then we can see like we also have this 2 very important videos, like how to iteratively build reliable and robust Gen AI system. So that takes you like what are the steps you should include in your generative AI architecture to make your generative AI architecture much more reliable and robust, right? And then we also have brief descriptions about different models like Palm, Mistral, Llama. So all these models with slide details has been also discussed in this playlist, right? So you can see this is the playlist which I was talking about. Like it has the fine tuning process with QLoRa. Then this is a quite important video if you want to understand the depth of these parameters related to LLM, like temperature, top P and top K. And we have the other videos which we have discussed, right? So you can see also we have uh, the RLHF and also the DPO implementation in terms of code, and also it has the coverage of how the reward model works in case of aligning LLM with the human preferences. So all this video is quite essential if you are trying to build your career in the space of generative AI, right? Now what we can do is slowly we will move into the step 4. So in the step 4, what we will do is we will start using LangChain. So you can go through the first 4 videos of my LangChain crash course series, which gives you an introduction to LangChain. Then it talks about how to write prompts. Then you can like how using prompting technique you can get answers to your question. What are the different input and output parsers that are available. Then it also talks about chains and memory. So that is what you can go through in this series. So I will recommend you to go through only the first 4 videos of this series. So these are the first 4 videos which you can go through. Rest of the videos we have a separate playlist which is related to RAG. So in that section you will go through the rest of the videos. But this 4 videos will help you to understand what are the building blocks of LangChain. Though this the coding architecture or the coding is bit more deprecated now, but it will give you the concepts which is required to understand how LangChain works, right? So then what we can go through is slowly we will move into this concept of LangChain expression language. So this is a single video, but I have given it a single step because it has all the uh, new concepts which are related to LangChain, how the LangChain expression language works, and what are the benefits of using LangChain expression language, and how the LangChain expression language is kind of different by if you compare with the old syntax. So all this has been discussed. Then it also talks about like few of the concepts like runnable parallel, runnable pass-through, and runnable lambda. So these are very crucial concepts which you should understand if you want to go deep using the LangChain framework, right? So then we also talk about the different performance enhancement techniques, like how you can increase your inference speed by using like async invoke, the batch support, the async batch support. So all this we cover in this video. Then we talk about the few of the other concepts which are related to binding the tools with the LLM, the streaming support. So you can see this is a like 27 minutes video, but it will take you through the very in-depth concept of LangChain expression language. So I will request you to go through this, which will give you a deeper understanding of how LangChain kind of works in the current time, right? So then what we can do is we can move to step 6. So in the step 6, what we will do is we will start going deep into the retrieval augmented generation process, right? So we will start with very basic of RAG architecture and how it functions, the semantic search with using vector stores. Then we will slowly move into the few of the advanced RAG techniques, right? So generally people just build a simple RAG and they kind of feel that they kind of know how the RAG works, but the problem lies when you want to increase the performance of your RAG system, right? So that's why you should know the different advanced RAG techniques, which are like self-query retriever, the contextual compression technique. Then we have techniques like ensemble retriever, the multi-query retriever, the other concepts like query rewrite and the document re-ranking with cross-encoder. So then the advanced RAG techniques like Heidi or the multi-index retriever. Then we also talk about what is the chunking, optimal chunking strategy that you can select for your use case, right? So these are like few of the deep dive videos which is available. So one of them is like a chunking strategies. The other one is like how you can incorporate the hybrid search, and we go in depth of this video where we talk about how we can combine the vector search along with keyword based search, and then we kind of do the hybrid search using like MMR or the reciprocal ranking, those concepts, right? So then we also look into the two famous advanced RAG techniques which are related to Llama index, like sentence window retriever and the automatic retriever. So these are very specific to Llama index, but we have integrated in this playlist series which will give you a full idea of how the advanced RAG techniques works, right? So then in the end we talk about like what is contextualized late interactions using Colbert, so which also gives you another flavor of advanced RAG techniques, right? So you can see this is the playlist which we have. So it has around 17 videos, and it takes you starting from very basic of the semantic search using vector store, and it takes you to the different advanced RAG techniques, the chunking strategies, how you can do the hybrid search techniques in RAG, and the other techniques which are related to Llama index. And in the end it talks about how we can build better RAG with Colbert, right? So this will be a kind of a complete playlist which is related to RAG. So and RAG nowadays like getting very much popular in the industry, and that is the most used use cases in the space of generative AI. So it is very much essential if you start from very basic till the advanced RAG concepts, right? So with that, what we can do is we can go to step 7. So in the step 7, what we will do is we will build a fully functional RAG app with front end where we deploy the RAG using Fast API, and we build the front end using Gradio, right? So this is also one of the popular playlist in my YouTube channel, so which will take you through starting from how you can manage Python environments. Then it talks about like how you can load the secrets using .env file. So then slowly it talks about how you can use a local LLM, and also how you can leverage a API based LLM call like Together API. Then we also talk about how you can write modularized code for building RAGs, and in the end it talks about like the deployment of this RAG app using fast API, and how also you can incorporate pydantic validation, which will check the input and output format of this particular app, which will ensure that the validations are in place, right? So then we will in the end we will talk about how we can integrate everything, and we will make a front end using Gradio. So this is one of the playlists which you can also go through if you want to get some confidence how you can deploy RAG, and how you can build a fully functional chatbot UI using Fast API and Gradio, right? So with this, what we can do is now let's move into step 8. So the step 8 is like a very popular concept which is getting famous nowadays, is agents, right? So solitary LLM has a lot of issues, right? So it cannot do a lot of tasks. So for that, what we need to do is we need to integrate a pre-processing or a post-processing step, and then we can like build a chain. But these chains are very deterministic in nature. So what we people generally do is they try to build a fully autonomous system with the help of agents. So, and one of the framework that is very popular nowadays is LangGraph. So I have around uh, 9 to 10 videos. So yeah, at least 9 videos in this series, which starts with uh, uh, very basic of how the LangGraph works. Then it talks about like how we can do tool calling and how we can build a tool calling agent. Then we talk about how we can build a multi-agent supervisor. It also touches on the concept of agentic RAG. Then we talk about how we can build a self-corrective RAG, and which will help you to reduce hallucination in the RAG pipeline with agentic design. Then we talk about concepts like how we can build a SQL database agent, or how we can bring human in the loop with the concept of checkpoints and breakpoints. And we also talk about how we can generate structured outputs from agents, and in the end we talk about how we can build a autonomous React agent, right? So these are like few concepts which will not only enhance your agent knowledge, but it will also take you through few different advanced concepts which are related to generative AI system, right? So I hope this you will enjoy this series, because this is one of the series that is very much popular in my channel. Then what we can do is we can move to step 9, where we will talk about LLM from scratch implementation. So once you kind of gathered the different inner workings of generative AI system, you kind of went through how you can build RAG. Then we also talked about agents. Now if you are very curious and wants to know how people generally train LLM, and how you can also train LLM, so this is the series for you, which starts with like PyTorch essentials, which at first sets up the ground which through which you can build the further coding on this series. Then it talks about how the tokenization process works in case of LLM, and then how we can also prepare the batch data which we need to use while training the LLM, right? So then we will build a decoder based LLM implementation, where you will understand the very architecture of a decoder based LLM and how it works from scratch. And then in the last video we talk about how we can pre-train this decoder based LLM, right? So this is the series which you can see. It has 4 videos, and the crux of the video is this episode 3, where we build a GPT like decoder based LLM architecture from scratch, right? So then what we can do is we can move to step 10. So in the step 10 is more or less related to the vision language model or the multimodal models, where we at first talk about vision transformer, and we kind of build the vision transformer from scratch using PyTorch. Then we slowly move to the multimodal models understanding. So we do a deep dive into how the multimodal model is different if you compare with a typical LLM architecture. So we go into the in depth of the architectures, then we see how we can leverage and use the code in terms of the models like Clip and Llama 3.2. And then in the end, what we do is we build a fully functional multimodal rack with the help of Colpali, and we try to do it for complex document types, right? So where the document kind of includes like text, tables, and images, right? So these are the three videos which are part of the multimodal or VLM series that will set you up for the how the VLM works and how the multimodal RAG works, right? So I hope in 2025 you'll see like a lot of adoptions in terms of VLMs and the visual language model question answering systems. You will see that will grow in the next year, right? So with this I will end this video. So I hope that this whole series or this whole roadmap will help you to enhance your knowledge in the space of generative AI system. So with this I will end this video. Thank you. See you in the next video.